Hey family, I'm Kalion, and I interpret messages from the divine through the rhythm of music. I'm a soldier, a cryptologic linguist, and a messenger. And today, I want to speak to those who have ever doubted, those who have ever feared death, those who have ever wondered if all this pain and beauty and tragedy could possibly mean anything. And today's song is Cassie by Flyleaf. Check it out if you haven't heard it. It's quite powerful. And this is a message for anyone who's ever held a gun to their own hope, wondering if there's anything left worth believing in. Cassie is a song about a moment that strips a human being down to the core. The moment you're asked, do you believe in God? Not as dogma, not as a rule, but as the rawest question there is. When everything else is gone, is there something, anything, anyone? I have walked through those seasons of my life where I would have answered no. I lived as an atheist for many years, and I've lived as a man who looked at the world's cruelty and saw no pattern, no purpose, and no light beyond the grave. And I know many feel that right now. Some of us fear death, not because of pain, but because of nothingness. And that fear is real. You're not weak for feeling it. And so I want to share something I haven't spoken about in public yet. Recently, I dreamed that a gun was pressed to the right side of my head. And about a year ago, a similar vision appeared on the left. But this time, something was different. This time, I was holding the weapon myself, but I refused to pull the trigger. Instead, I called out to a presence I have been feeling for quite a while and have begun to call Ekapaxa Asura, a spirit of imbalance, despair, and shadow I sense growing in our world. And to that being, my answer was, if destruction is my fate, then let you be the one to pull it. I won't. And in the dream, the trigger was pulled. But I did not die. Somehow in that moment, my consciousness remained. I was still present, still aware, and still me. But everything just kind of froze. And then I woke up, and I understood. It was a sign and a vision that death is not the end of consciousness. Despair does not get the final word, and the void is not the truth of who we are. This was not a warning, it was a test, and more importantly, a revelation. I know what that dark voice asking you to pull the trigger in your own mind says. For years, my greatest fear wasn't death. It was that everything might be meaningless. After a life of suffering, that all our suffering, and the love, and the heartbreak, and the struggle, the lights would just go out, and there'd be nothing. No justice, no reunions, no purpose, just void. But this time, and for the first time in my entire life, I felt something unique break open. And it felt like confirmation that after this, something exists. I don't pretend to understand it, I don't dare to describe it, but the revelation was clear. If we walk the path wisely, in between light and shadow, there is something beyond this life waiting for us. Something not bound by fear, something not erased by despair, and something that survives. And that means your suffering is not meaningless. Your story is not wasted. Your existence is not an accident. And with that, I speak now to the doubters, to the ones who have been mocked by atheists in ivory towers for searching for meaning, to the ones who have been told that faith is childish and that the universe is indifferent. Try telling a grieving mother in Gaza or Israel or anywhere in this burning world that her child's death carries no meaning, no truth, no continuation. Try comforting the brokenhearted by insisting all they have is chemicals firing in the void. That isn't compassion. That isn't enlightenment. That's cruelty wearing a lab coat. Lauryn Hill has a song where she once called it a mafia with diplomas. Flyleaf calls it out too, because the moment before the trigger reveals what the heart truly knows, Cassie said yes. In my dream, when the shadow pulled the trigger, I remained. Both truths point in the same direction. There is more, and that more is not found in arrogance, but in humility, surrender, and balance. So, if you are listening right now and you've known that fear, if you've known doubt, and if you've known the whisper that tells you your life is meaningless, I hope you can hear me now. You are not alone. You are not broken, and you are not destined for nothingness. You are a part of a pattern older than any empire, any ideology, and any religion. And that pattern says, the light rises, the shadow teaches, and the soul endures. Not because you're perfect, but because you're meant to survive your own darkness and bring light back to the others. And now a prayer for my beloved spiritual and coach sister Malika. May any soul listening today feel the truth that lives beyond fear. May those who doubt be met with gentleness, and those who despair be met with hope. May the shadow lose its grip, and may the light rise in balance, where nothing is meaningless and nothing is lost. Ashe, Amin, and Amen. If this message speaks to you, help me spread it by liking, commenting, sharing, or simply whispering it to someone who needs hope. And if you'd like to support my mission or request a song of your own, you'll find everything you need in my bio. Thanks for listening, family. See you next time. Same fire, new rhythm.